You are listening right now to the Savage Life Podcast, brought to you by Kink Media.
Yo, I could win $1 million today, and I'm still gonna strip tomorrow because I love that shit, bitch. I love lying to niggas. I love shaking my ass for money. I'm on that line.
That ace.
I need all my scammer niggas. Bring that cash out.
Took her out of filers cause her pussy pop. I'm running like Nike, we got it on lock.
I love that shit, bitch.
So boom, okay, hello.
Hello. Wait, let's drink some more, please.
Okay.
We drank earlier, which we'll be bleeping since they're not sponsoring us.
I know, that's why I made sure the
we will not be showing that in
That's
fucking...
some good shit, y'all snap. It was good as fuck.
Have you ever had it?
Yes, and my dad always has it. It's like his favorite. And I didn't know that my dad was paying $158.
It should not be $100.
Yeah. I think that they only had one size. So maybe it was just like the really big size. I couldn't tell. It's behind the glass.
Because we just bought some and it was $60.
Yeah, so maybe it was just
we definitely did not pay no 100 or something.
You know what? My bad, y'all. They had a gift set that was like $60, and I didn't know how small the bottle was. Yes. And I'm just like, we're gonna pay $60 for like 2 cups that we don't fucking want.
Right.
Like,
but low key, those 2 cups would have got us lit.
Dang,
it's strong.
So what I was gonna say was we drank some earlier, and it was like I feel like we didn't even drink a lot at all, and we were lit,
like drunk.
And then you guys finished the bottle.
Yeah, did we?
No, it's just in the fridge.
Oh, let's drink that too.
That's what I have a cup of.
Let's start with this and then we go to the regular. Where is it? Oh,
the 2, yeah.
I was gonna say, damn, how the hell y'all alive? Shout out to y'all for being alive. Damn, shout out to you.
I took some Pedialyte. I ate. So it was a lot to get. I took some fucking migraine medicine. So
I've never tried the Pedialyte thing, so that fucking works.
Yes. Grab some if you want some. That's why I bought it.
You want this or not?
Yes.
Pedialyte is a shit.
But what I have been doing is at night I take an emergency. Like if I'm drinking before I go to sleep, I take emergency and I wake up a little vitamin C. I wake up feeling amazing, but because it has a whole bunch of other shit in it, right? Other than vitamin C, and like literally, I wake up feeling like I didn't even drink the next day.
Little vitamin C in your system is helpful. Good for you. Mm-hmm. That's smart. I don't think.
But I think that's what like Pedialyte has, like all those things. Yeah. Like. Whatever the fuck.
And it's morning after for me always. I've never had Pedialyte like at night before you went. Yeah.
I like to drink it while I'm drinking. That way I'm replenishing myself.
While you're going.
I think I'm doing that. I don't know if it's actually happening, but in my mind, I'm like, I'm replenishing myself as I'm drinking. And I don't feel bad. I felt bad earlier. Now I feel great. I'm ready to drink some more.
You know what I think may also be a trick? When I go to like Disney or whatever, I always take motion sickness pills.
Dramamine.
And I be drunk as fuck in Disney because you can bring your own shit. And I be drunk as fuck in Disney, but I never wake up feeling crazy or while I'm drunk, I don't never feel like dizzy or woozy or anything like that. And I'm like,
that makes a lot of sense. So like you don't get the spins.
Right. I'm like, I take fucking motion sickness. That might be a hack. Yes, it might be. I've never just take some motion sickness pills and call it something else like no drunk something.
Don't they have, what is BC powder?
Aspirin.
Because I was gonna say, people could basically like crush up some Dramamine and be like, "Oh, I have a new product that don't get you hungover."
Yeah.
Like, have you heard of BC powder?
Yeah.
I never even taken it because that scares me.
All the time.
What the fuck?
That's just aspirin?
It's literally like aspirin or whatever.
You put it in water.
Types of aspirin. You take it straight.
I just see crushed up powder and I immediately
you take it straight. Like
my head goes somewhere else.
You take it straight to the back, so it tastes really fucking nasty.
Of course it does.
But it works better with like.
You up?
No, it's literally aspirin. So, like, it just helps you not feel fucking like you have a headache and all that.
So I
shit.
could just take some Tylenol and call it a day.
Probably, yeah. Okay. But it just, because it's in the powder form, it just goes quicker. Like, it literally, in like if you have a headache, in like 15 minutes, your headache is gone from taking the BC powder. It's good if you take it with a Coke. I don't know why, but like if you take the BC powder and you drink Coke, that's helps.
Speaking of Coke.
You guys found some?
No. I'm looking for it.
The first time that I fucking
come on, now y'all have Pablo Escobar in this bitch. Somebody got motherfucking.
I know somebody has to.
Somebody definitely does. We
could try to find somebody. The crazy thing is, I just like don't do coke often. To just like I don't do drugs often at all. To just like have plugs for anything. Yeah. Definitely not no coke. Speaking of drugs, actually, D came down here and he was asking me. One of our mutual tricks was down here, and he asked me like, where can he get some drugs? I texted you, this was a while ago, and I was like, oh, I need some drugs, boom, 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 and you're like, you could try this person, but it wasn't even like your main drug person, it was like the drugs. Right, yeah. Okay. So, you linked me with them, you provided the number, and then I was like, gonna give the number to D, but D, I don't want to reach out to them because that's your connect. I was like, Kim, it's not really my connect, it's really my girls connect. Yeah. So I was like, we're way past like formalities of like who's who. Right. So he's like, no, but you just do it because I don't want to. And I'm like, I don't know how to ask for drugs. So like, I'm not the right person to do this. And so I literally texted the dude and I was like, hey, I'm Lexi's friend, something, and I'm looking. I don't remember exactly what I said, but I said something like, I'm looking for something like that, because I don't know how to do drug talk. Right. And so he literally just like straight up called me and he's like, what do you need? And then I realized as I'm on the phone with him that I don't know how to ask for drugs. Like, for the specific kind of drug, for like E or cocaine without saying E and cocaine. Right. Because I don't know if this motherfucker want me to, so this is, I was like, so he's like, okay, what do you need? And I was like, so I need some, and he was like, what do you need? Right. So then in my head, I'm like, bitch, yes, what do you need? So then I'm thinking that he's telling me to like ask explicitly for drugs. So I'm like, I need drugs. And he hung up on me. And then he sent me a voice message. He was like, why the fuck would you say that on my line? And I was like, okay, but you were like pushing me to say it. And he was, what the fuck to say. Right. And I was like, I don't know how to ask for this shit. So then I texted D. I was like, I think I fucked it up. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to ask. And then I was like, what should I ask for? And D was like, well, ask for something. And then he had some type of lingo. And then I was like,
yeah, that's the thing. When you're asking for drugs, you don't say like, I need drugs. For coke, I need X. You be like, do you got some pills? What kind? E? Do you got, for coke, I'd be like, you got some powder? I need some of that. That's what I said. Like, I don't ever, but I need some coke.
Do you have drugs?
My dealers already know me, so I don't even got to, I'll be like, you got some of this? You already know what I want.
But in my head also, like, the feds fucking know what the fuck everything is. Like, if I say powder, like, bitch, they know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Also, they not worried about no damn low-key drug dealer in Broward. You are not Pablo Escobar. You are a nobody for running the damn fucking whatever.
Selling grams. Like,
correct.
They're okay with that. They let a lot of shit slide on the rug.
He literally yelled at me so bad, and I was just so embarrassed. And then I sent a voice message, and I think I said something like, I want a gram of like some white or something like that. And then he was like, yeah, okay, I got you, but don't ever say that shit on my phone again. It was really embarrassing. I'm not even gonna lie. I was so embarrassed. I felt really white, first of all. And then I also felt like a nerd because like, what the fuck do I know? Because I never have like purchased drugs. I've only just like been in spaces where there are drugs and then I do the drugs. But what the fuck? Like I don't know.
Yeah, me either. Thank goodness all of my friends are drug dealers, so like they live like, I don't have to ask for it.
You don't gotta be on the book.
It's like if it's a new drug dealer, I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat what the fuck I want. Do you have some coke?
Right.
Or do you have some fucking pills?
Yeah, because what the fuck? I didn't know.
Like if it's a new dealer, I'll straight up, you got some coke, how much is the gram? Like I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat and try to figure out
what your lingo is.
I don't want no confusion.
Correct.
I want some fucking cocaine.
Yeah, because you want to ask for some shit and it's like, all right, here's fucking meth. Right.
I'm like, I want some white, I want some fucking crack.
Correct.
Like, no, I'm not doing that.
Right now, and hearing you talking about this reminds me, I don't know if either of you watched Euphoria, but
I know what it is. I don't watch it.
You fucking remind me of one of the girls from Euphoria.
Isn't that what's her name? Vanessa DeJong. What's her name? Not DeJong. What's her name?
Zendaya.
Boom. Why did I say Vanessa? I was gonna say Vanessa Hudgens.
That's High School Musical. Yeah.
That's a whole different person.
I'm going to be really honest with you and say that I don't get Zendaya. I don't get it. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. What does she do? I just don't get it.
She's an actress.
I know, but like people are really obsessed with her, and that's fine. Right. Okay, cool. For a long time, I didn't even know she was an actress. I just was always seeing her on talent, and I was like, what is she? Mm-hmm, who is she? And what is the fucking? And so then, also, I think that everyone maybe has like a celebrity where we just like don't particularly like them, but not really for any logical reason. Right. I feel that way about Gabrielle Union. Sorry. I also feel that way about who's the Kerry Washington?
Kerry what? Yeah.
Scandal lady?
Yes. But I don't have any reason to not like them. But when I see them, I'm just like, I don't want to, I'm cool.
I can't think of them off of the top of my head. But
it's like, you have somebody who's like, I feel the same way about Zendaya, and I don't have,
Tiffany Haddish. Ooh,
correct. I have nothing personal against them.
You know, I just watched her movie, the new movie that came out with her, like, the movie was
so bad.
Terrible.
Which one?
It's like a movie with her. No, it's a movie with her. I forgot what the fuck it's called. It's a movie with her, the lady who's the main character in Handmaid's Tale. I forgot what the fuck her name is.
Oh, I was really interested in seeing that. Fuck. With the fat lady, the white fat lady.
When I tell you,
and whatever the fuck, and Handmaid's Tale, the fat white lady is not the main character.
No, the main character in Handmaid's Tale, and then the funny fat lady. I forgot what the fuck her name is.
I can't think of her name either.
But she's in all like the comedy movies.
Megan McCarthy.
Maybe that's her name. Yes, maybe that's her name.
Not Fat Amy, because somebody played Fat Amy.
No,
the Australian girl.
No, not her.
It's the older.
Yeah, Megan McCarthy is the one who's in like Identity Thief with Jason.
Yes, that's her. Yes, when I tell you guys, I watched like 20 minutes of it, and I'm like,
it was bad.
That's so sad. I was very
Megan McCarthy is so funny
too. Movie, and it was not their fault. The script of this movie was terrible,
but like
it was garbage.
Tiffany Haddish brought down the. Like, I don't know, the
stake
of the movie, because she's not a good actress. She's not funny.
I don't think she's funny.
Like, she plays like I don't know the proper word, but like the Sambo, like like she's loud.
Right.
She's like what's
the stereotype
the other the other one with the really short hair, some more. What's her name? Fuck, the other lady that got really popular. She's on SNL, and she's fucking loud.
I feel like it's with L.
She's just like the Lisa, whatever. Yes. She's like they're one and the same. They're just loud black women, and they play like these like ghetto black girl roles, and it's just like,
and not like in a way that's like, oh yeah, it's like the white people are like choosing you for, I'm going to put you as the nigga.
Right. And they had like shout out to Tiffany Haddish at the same time, because she does Kids Say the Darndest Things now on ABC. I don't know, Kids Say the Darndest Things, like Bill Cosby did it, and
that was like years ago.
Yes, so like she brought that back, and it's actually really funny. But of course, it's because kids are fucking funny,
right?
But
because kids say the darndest things,
literally. And so she did that, and she like is a producer. Like at the end, like it has her like credits after, and it's on ABC and shit. Like so, like she got the bag.
Yeah, she's getting the bag.
But like I don't know, like at what cost.
At the cost of
like all of this, exactly. All the time. It's like, okay, bitch, dance, nigga, dance.
No, you know the fucking video of who's the Kiki, the dude who does the
Benji Brown?
No, the Kiki. Do you love me? The dude who did the dance with that. Have you ever seen a video of him at the basketball game? And it's like at the bottom the name says nigger boy, and he's like doing and he looks like he's so tired. He's like, I don't do this no more. That's exactly the same concept. Yeah. It's like they don't. It's like they're so tired, but it's like, damn, I got it.
Yeah, exactly that. Gotta get the bag.
Exactly.
Yep, it's exactly that.
Oh fuck.
All right. Damn, didn't Shiggy come at you for denying him?
Yeah.
What?
He used to have a cat page.
Yes.
I'm really confused.
This was really long ago. I'm so surprised. This is so funny.
Wait, okay, what happened?
The thing is, I don't even remember exactly what happened. I just know that he had a cat page, and I followed the cat page because I like cats, obviously. And I didn't watch his actual page, his videos, nothing, because I don't really think that he's that funny. Like, some of his shit is funny, but it's like, it's a little much.
Right.
And I think I was like DMing him on there, and like, I don't know, not even in no like sexual shit. Do you remember what I said happened? Because I don't really remember.
I just remember you like denying him some way somehow, and he like was like, you stupid bitch.
Yeah, he like came at me. Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and it was like through the cat page, not through the Shiggy page.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't through his Shiggy page. It was through the cat. Because I wasn't even on his Shiggy page. Like, I was like, oh, cats are cute.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's not the cats.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, And then he was like, you know, he saw my actual Instagram, and then he's like, yo, it was good. And I was like, yeah, just here for the cat. And he's like, you bitch. Like, I'm like, okay. Damn. With the cat Abby.
Yeah, that's what's funny as fuck. I just picture him. He has like a gray cat. Like, he has like a chance. Like a gray cat.
Oh my God. That is fucking hilarious.
Hilarious. Wow. Good times.
Bruh. Fuck. men and rejection is not
interesting.
A good fucking combination at all.
No.
What is the wildest thing that's ever happened to you guys
around
when you've been rejected? Me, I literally got my ass beat.
Really?
Yes. When I was in high school, I was walking home, and this guy was like on a bike trying to talk to me. And I was ignoring the fuck out of him by my phones. I'm ignoring him. And he's like, yo, I'm talking to you. And I turn around and I'm like, well, I don't want to talk to you. And I kept walking. He's like, bitch. And you know me, I'm like, you call me a bitch, I'm going to call you a bitch.
Right.
So I turn around, I'm like, you're a bitch. And I kept walking. The next thing I feel is he grabbed my hair. Ooh. Like, literally, like, yanked me, like, Jesus crazy. Christ. And, like, slammed me to the fucking floor.
Oh. Where were y'all?
Like, well, I was walking down the street to my...
Was there anybody around? Mm-mm. That's fucking scary.
That's scary as fuck.
Like, he literally, like, was like... Yeah, he literally just, like, threw me on the floor. And I was like, I was sitting there, I was like...
Stunned, right.
What the fuck?
That's crazy.
No, that's fucking terrifying.
Ugh. That shit was wild.
I literally think the worst thing that happened is, like, the same... Like, not that I got... Just, like... You ugly ass bitch, and I didn't want your ass anyway. Like, that stupid shit. Yeah. Like, was just like, fuck you. Like, whatever, you're a loser.
I honestly, I'm trying to think, and I feel like unfortunately, I feel like there's so many times that you reject men that it all becomes like one big, like, collective of just horrible scenarios. Yeah. So it's like hard for me to think, but I will say most recently, I can't think of like a worst time because it just all combines in my head. But most recently, this was like last week, I was at Publix and I was in line to like put my shit on the fucking register or whatever. And this guy was in a different line, came over to my line to try to hit on me. He said, hey, how you doing? And I'm just like, I'm fine, how are you? He's like, good. And then I like turn back around. Body language is telling you, I'm not interested. Right. I'm trying to go about my fucking day. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, tap me on the shoulder like, oh, ma'am, I just want to tell you you're so beautiful. And I literally just looked back like, and didn't say anything. Because, like, it's like, niggas do not pick up on body language intentionally, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Like, you know that I'm giving you the body language of, I'm not interested. If I'm interested, I'm going to turn around to you and be like, hi, yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. And even that sometimes it's like bullshit, but it's like, I'm very clearly giving you the signal, I'm not interested. And so I ignored him, and he kept trying to talk to me. I kind of turned around like, I'm just trying to, I don't remember exactly what I said to him. I just said like, you know, I'm trying to go about my day or something. And then he went back into the other line, didn't even stay there. And we left out. I thought the whole situation was over. Get in my car, I'm driving, I pull up to the light, and he's next to me. So I look over, and I'm like, I'm not even paying attention, but I like look over, I'm like, fuck, he's looking at me. And I'm like, oh shit, because at that point, it's more scary. In the line,
like following me.
Right. In the line thing, I feel less scared because it's like, not that people are really going to help you if something did happen, but at least I'm like in public. Now we're at Publix, literally. But now I'm in the damn fucking car, and I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is he, whatever. So then I'm like, let me just look straight, because now I don't want to sass no more. Like, I don't, now it's like, let me just tone my shit down a little bit. So then we pull off, we start driving, I'm going to just probably try to like, you know, go a little fast and get out the way. So I go a little fast, he goes a little fast. So I'm like, all right, let me just drive regular, because I'm not even trying to do a zoom, 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 and like end up dying, going off a damn, I don't know. Shit. So then he's driving next to me, and I'm realizing that he's intentionally going the same speed as me, so that he's like keeping up with me or whatever. Yeah. And it's like an intimidation tactic, right? Because he really probably didn't even have no intention of doing something like that. But the point is, like, they know that that's scary. Yeah. There's no way that he didn't think that that was not scary. You feel me? God. And so then I have my window open too. So I'm like, all right, let me just drive regular. I'm going to just keep it whatever. And I hear him say like, so. And I can't really hear. And we're driving. We're moving. We're not even stopped. We're just driving. It's two-way street or two lanes. I look over and I'm like, huh? You know, I'm real awkward like, what? And he's like, you ain't have to be rude in the store. And I was just like, oh, and like trying to keep driving. And it's like, bro, ew, what the fuck? And then he's in a big ass truck. He's in like a Ford. Is it an Explorer? Them bitches are like those are trucks, right?
Yeah.
So he's in a bigger. I'm in a little fucking Nissan Sentra. So I'm just like, and then he's like, zoom, like pulls off type shit, and then gets in front of me. And then I'm like, all right, man, what the fuck? And eventually he like turned off, so it was fine. But it's just like,
damn, that's scary as fuck.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it's like, but it's like.
It is.
They know that shit is intimidating, and they do it anyway. And then they are like emboldened to do shit like that, which is like straight up, and it's fucking physical attack.
And they don't think about like how they position us in when that shit happens. Like, what are we supposed to do when y'all like curse us out, or like y'all physically threaten us, or like that's why it irritates me so much when people are like, why do you give this person your number if you don't fuck with them? Because, or why did you give him your number if you don't like him? Because I don't know how he's gonna
grab your head and slam you
exactly. He's gonna yank my shit. I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. Like, so it's not that easy to just be like, fuck you, don't fucking talk to me, because you don't know how they're gonna react. A lot of men do not know how to take fucking rejection at all. They take it very fucking personally, and it's just like, we don't like. I don't understand why they ignore body language. Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is like they just feel entitled to a lot of women. Absolutely. They walk around like they're just hot fucking shit. Everybody wants to talk to me. Everybody wants to fuck me. Yeah. Why don't you want to do it? So when they finally meet a bitch that's like, no, it's kind of like, bitch, fuck you. Like, you know, and it's just like, bro.
And it's crazy how like most niggas feel that way. It's like, y'all really like, you know, we were talking about this last night when we were talking about, like, celebrities and their sense of, like, you know, but it's just, like, regular ass fucking dudes, like, still feel that sense of entitlement of, like, nigga, what? Like, why do you feel like you deserve me at all? You don't even fucking know me at all.
I'm in the damn grocery store trying to get my shit. I look like shit. I feel like shit. You come up 2 inches behind me trying to talk about something. You so beautiful. Nigga, back the fuck up. I'm trying to go about my fucking day. Like,
stop talking to fucking women. Leave us the fuck alone. You know what? If we want to talk to you, we will make it known. Exactly. Like, I feel like when I want to fuck with you, I'm looking at you. I'm correct. I'll watch you myself. Right. I'm sliding in the end. Otherwise, everything. Don't. If I'm not doing that, leave me the fuck alone. Like, it's not that hard.
Especially in public spaces when we're just trying to go about our fucking day. Yeah. I remember when we had the podcast before, we had this conversation. I remember our engineer was listening, and after the show, he said something like, because we were saying basically I said, don't talk to women in public. Just like, don't talk to women. Just like straight up. And he said something along the lines of like, well, if you don't talk to women in public, how will we like date? How do you meet women? How do you start conversation? And I'm just like, first of all, you're not even like grasping the basic point that is, women moving about the world have a certain sense of anxiety because we cannot move in public spaces without having anxiety, if that makes sense. Yes. We are on high alert constantly, and that is both intentional and fucks up our well-being and ability to move in public spaces, because it's like, now it's a form of like social control. You know, as long as we feel fearful, we're going to feel like we have less agency, and they will have more power. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And it's like, so it's not a matter of like, don't talk to women because we don't want to have a relationship and da-da-da. It's like, respect that the sense of fear affects how we move about the world in general. And so to just like kind of like do the common thing, or the common courtesy of just like not hitting on women in public is less about like, oh, we're not going to be able to mate. It's like, let me move around the world as a human and just feel okay for once. Exactly. Like, I would love to just go out, because I saw somebody on Twitter the other day, it was like asking women like, if you felt no fear, how would you move in the world? And like, I felt like I wanted to even like cry just reading that question, because it's like
a white
because the thing is like how you don't even know how that
we have no clue.
I really have no
white men are the only people who know how that feels. I think
how does that feel?
I literally think white men are the only people who know how that feels. Correct. Like, because they're the only people who don't have to like they
have any sense of high alert,
like at all. They're the only ones, and they only feel that way, unfortunately, when they're around black and brown people. Right. They feel the fear, but in the end of the day, they still know that they have
they are still protected. We don't have that sense. So we move with fear, and we also know we will not be protected.
Exactly.
Like, and I have because it's like somebody, and just reading the comments, I think is what moved me the most, because it was women talking about like all the different things. And I think what I read the most was like women talking about exercising, like going for jogs, running, like just the ability to go run. And like, I don't run and I'll never run, so I don't relate, but I was really moved by the concept of like,
you literally just like struck, because like I have been on this like fitness journey and I was very, very active, and then the time changed and I worked out. I went running, jogging, walking at the same park every day. Yeah. And the time changed, and I did it like one time, and I'm like, I cannot be out here. Like, I cannot be out here walking, and it's dark outside, and like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like, I have completely stopped working out. It's been now.
Isn't that crazy?
It's been now like 2 months since I've worked out because of that.
How many stories do you hear of women who have been raped, who have been fucking beat the fuck up, who have been murdered? Yes. Because they decided to go out for a fucking run. Right. That's for a minute. So like in the summertime, I was in this very big like I was waking up at like 5:30 in the morning and going running. And then, like, I don't know, I get into, like, my weird little, like, obsessions with, like, murders and, like, shit like that. Me too. And I was watching this show of, like, I forgot what the fuck it's called on Netflix. It's a really good show. Mindhunters? Yes, there we go. I was watching Mindhunters, and I was so into it. But, like, all the serial killers on the show were fucking men killing women who were either sex workers specifically, or were bitches just, like, running out. Like, they had to go for a fucking run that night. Yep. So, I'm, like, after I had binge watched the fucking show, the next day, like, I'm going running. As I'm going running, I have my headphones in, and all of a sudden, I'm like, bitch, not only are you a fucking prostitute, it's 5:30 in the morning, nobody is outside, and you're by yourself running. Yeah. So the whole time I'm running, I have so much anxiety, because I'm like, and then like where I live in the suburbs of Chicago, where I live, I go to this little, like, forest preserve type shit, whatever the fuck it's called, like little park type shit, but it's like a trees and shit and all kinds of shit, because it's like refreshing for me. It was like birds chirping. You see, it's like a nice little landscape, right? But I'm like, as I'm running, I keep looking. I'm like, bitch, if somebody were to kill you, your body could go there. They had a little. I'm like, somebody could throw your body in there, and I stopped running because I was like, I can't do that, because if I get killed, who's going to find me?
Right. Yeah. And then you can't even get in your fucking zone, because when you have both headphones on, you know, you're trying to like zone out and like, yes, I got this.
And I can't. I'm looking like behind me.
Let me take one ear out. I hear somebody coming behind here, and it's just like, and then your whole workout is thrown off, and it's just
I stopped. I could,
I never even, until you just said that, it just like all like.
No, there was very, very many women under the comments literally just talking about exercising alone. And I, again, as a non-runner, I couldn't relate, but I was moved by the idea, because I was like, to be free and run in the world in a beautiful place like a park, how sad is it that our sense of safety is so low that we're like, fuck, I can't do that. Yeah. And then there's the concept of like, part of what they're talking about under the comments is like, you run the same track every day, that makes you more vulnerable. Yeah, because now somebody's clocking your shit. So it's like, and it's just really fucking sad to imagine how much anxiety and lack of sense of safety we have, and how that informs how we exist.
And then it even makes you think about, like, now sex trafficking is such a big hot topic. Like, it's such a hot topic button. And so it's great that it's making people more aware, but it's also like keeping us in fear the way that we are, because
and that's always been the motive of
because like literally, even if like you go to the rest stops and stuff, like in rest stops, they're on every bathroom stall. In the women's bathroom, I don't know how it is in the men's bathroom, but in the women's bathroom, it's like, you know, be aware of your surroundings, make sure you're double checking everything, like. Sex trafficking is a thing, like, you know, literally in the stalls of every bathroom. It's like, it's scary. And people, like, you can't even get in your fucking Lyft or Uber without, did you see that?
Oh my God, the Lyft and Uber shit is crazy.
That is scary as fuck. Like, I am scared to drive in a Lyft by myself at this point. It's like, I'm not driving in a Lyft by myself, I'll take that L and drive to wherever I have to go. Or unless it's a group of us, I'm not getting in a Lyft by myself.
Right.
Like, because you just don't fucking know.
I want to say something about the sex trafficking thing. It's interesting that it is, okay, how do I say this? Those, like, signs and stuff is so propaganda.
Right.
Because it's not a matter of, like, sex trafficking has become more sex trafficking. It's always been sex trafficking. Exactly. For some reason, it is now, like you said, a hot button issue, so it's being talked about more. But the way in which that they're framing it to sound like you're going to be in a rest stop and get, that's not even how most sex trafficking happens. No. Most sex trafficking is like your mom pimping you the fuck out. Right. It's like your uncle is like taking you somewhere because he want to get some money for some, it's like that, it's like interpersonal, what is it, the fucking IPV, like domestic violence, or it's like, it's the people who are closest to you who typically get you involved in that shit and selling you off and blah, blah, blah. It's not you at a damn fucking rest stop getting snatched up. Not to say that it never happens. Right. But like, so it's really interesting to me that like the symptoms of it becoming a hot button issue has been so much propaganda that creates more fear for us to be able to not move around the world, which really isn't even helping anything because that's not even how people get sex trafficked anyway. So it's like this big circle of like, again, that's why I say it's like a form of social control. As long as we are living in fear, we will not move, we will not feel empowered and strong and liberated and be like, I'm going to go do a damn fucking run on the beach at 6 a.m. We're going to stay in our fucking homes. And then the whole thing about that is the majority of times that we're going to get abused and hurt and raped is in our damn fucking homes. Yeah. So it's like this whole, it's just like so much fucking, it's wow.
Literally everything that happens that I feel like affects women in that way makes me think of The Handmaid's Tale. Like I literally feel like you said, it's propaganda, it's building us up, it's making us feel like we need, of course, a man protector to be around us and protect us and blah, 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 blah. And Handmaid's Tale, like, I always picture myself.
Are you obsessed with Handmaid's Tale?
Yes.
Yeah.
I always picture myself.
I'm definitely going to be a motherfucking Jezebel.
Listen, I have been, whatever. Hoes always have a fucking job.
I swear.
No matter what, literally, no matter what time frame you look at, from the fucking 1800s, from whatever the fuck.
Medieval times, Game of Thrones.
Hoes had a fucking job. And they got to live, I mean, like, other than the fact that they got abused a lot and raped and all these other things, like, but compared to other shit, they had the best fucking lives. Like,
I mean, in Handmaid's Tale, they were drinking, partying.
They got to listen to music. They got to wear
the fuck they want to wear. They could low-key kill people without a fucking people knowing. Because, I mean, when she killed, spoiler alert, when she killed, what's his name? The fucking maid came in, she's like, bitch, I'm gonna wrap his body up, go ahead, go home, bitch.
You know, that was, whatever, we're talking about him and stuff. Like, in my head, like, that was also when they, like, built up the, like, everyone started to kind of get sick of that shit, and they were all, like, revolting and ready to, like, make a stand, like, yeah, kill this nigga, like, what the fuck, but, yo, I'm terrified of The Handmaid's Tale happening in real fucking life, and I started rewatching The Walking Dead because not for like zombies and shit, but literally for survival.
For like the tactics that they
dead ass. Like not that there's gonna be zombies or anything, but just like if I need to fucking be on the run because like I want to get a gun because I just have a feeling like if Trump becomes president again or whatever the fuck, like they're going to take away my ability to be able to have a gun. I just feel like that. I just feel like somebody be like, women aren't allowed to have a fucking gun. And you keep talking
no abortions, no guns.
Right. Yes. No abortions, no birth control, no guns.
Exactly.
So what are we doing?
I just I need to get a gun, figure out how to use that shit and have it from now before I'm not allowed to have it anymore because
I'm so scared to have a fucking gun. I considered for quite some time having a gun. I'd call my dad and everything. I was like, oh, I'm going to go get a fucking license for a gun. There's literally a bagel place I used to go to, and right next door there's a fucking gun store. It's like, firearms, bagels. So I'm like, I'm just going to go in there.
Morning.
Yeah, like, so I was like, oh, I'm going to go get a gun, because literally you have to pay,
and
like...
you're in the most lax gun
state,
like,
exactly.
Yeah. You can be 13, get a gun.
Correct. You just walk in, you pay like a certain amount of money, you go to the shooting range, you get a license, boom, you got it. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go do that, and I'm going to get myself a little, like, little petite gun, something cute, fancy. But then I was like, I'm so scared of having a gun because
it's a responsibility.
My fear, because I feel like I have like trauma around guns, so I'm just like scared of guns. So I feel like that alone like affects how I'm gonna be using a gun. Even if I like go to a range and like know how to shoot it, I just feel like when it's a moment where I'm triggered to even need to use a damn gun, I'm gonna be triggered about the gun, and then I'm gonna be fucking like, and they're gonna be like, bitch, and just like take. So my fear is that I'm gonna have a gun and think like, oh, I'm a bad bitch, and then someone's gonna come in here and actually kill me with my own gun, because I'm gonna be like holding a gun like this type of shit, and they're gonna be like, shoot me, and I'm gonna be like. And I won't be able to, and they're just gonna snatch it from me and just murder me. Like, that is my literal fucking fear about, like, because I had this same conversation with my dad, like, I want to get a gun, I want to protect myself, boom, boom, and he's like, yeah, do it, go for it, boom, boom. And then I went to the gun store, and I saw them guns around me, and it was like, I was like closing in on myself. I was like, all right, no, I'm done, I'm not doing it.
You should work on that. I think that
I'm so scared.
I think that everyone should have a gun. Men, women, everybody. I think that men, women, everybody should have a gun, especially black people, because
I don't disagree. I'm just scared.
I heard this saying that says, like, if you're 100%. Black, you're under attack. And I just feel like, you know,
that sounds like some like Black Panther shit.
It is 100%. It's very true. So I'm just like, you know what I'm saying?
Especially in the state of affairs now with racist white people wilding.
Yeah.
They bold as fuck. Like, we really is back in the day.
Like, even with a gun in this bitch. That's like, no. Like,
so while I have the access, because I know if they take it away from anybody, black women are losing it first. So
you get your shit. So are you going to get one?
I told my dad that's what I wanted for my birthday. So
Isn't it interesting we both had conversations with our dads about guns?
Yeah. Yeah.
What does that mean?
My mom is a retired police officer, so
facts, right?
She's getting me like a little cute set, and I thought about you because you're keys with the thing, but she's getting me like a little mini like glitter stun gun, and it's like a glitter mace spray.
I really want a stun gun too, but it's illegal in Illinois. You have to.
That's the ones that are like.
You have to have your gun license to have a taser or anything like that out there. So that's why because I am a prostitute.
Yes, I
feel like I need extra protection just in case nothing bad's ever happened to me, but just in case one day some shit happens, I have that.
Exactly.
Because I really don't want to stab somebody because I feel like, okay, now I'm going to go to jail. So I feel like the taser or like a stun gun is like the easiest option for me because I'm not killing you, but it gives me enough time
a little second for them to be on the ground.
Out of there.
Correct.
And do what I need to do to protect myself. So, but I need my gun license to get it because I already like researched everything.
You need a gun license to get a taser in the state of Illinois.
In Illinois, it's kind of, they have kind of strict laws in Illinois.
Yeah.
So.
Not in Florida.
Not in
out here, y'all can have what, AK-47 out there just chilling in your fucking porch.
Yeah.
You got an AK.
You know what? Let me tell y'all a little story. Speaking of having guns in the fucking home. So, this was maybe like 2-3 weeks ago now. I was sitting in my house on my computer, minding my business. Nice night, got the candles going, little music playing. Like a little vibe, working. I had my balcony door open because I love a nice breeze, right? The cats, okay. I'm sitting here. All of a sudden, I hear a loud ass, like, boom. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like thinking, like, I don't know what I thought, but I was like shook. So I look over to the balcony. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, oh, never mind. Go back to my work. All of a sudden, a man walks into my house from the balcony.
What?
No bullshit. Walks into my house, closes the balcony. He's wearing boxer briefs. His penis is hard. He has a boner, but you can't see it, but like you can see it poking.
Yeah.
He walks in, shuts the fucking balcony door, goes into my bedroom, and I'm literally sitting at my computer like, what the fuck? Like, I literally could not. I was so shook. I could.
You need a fucking.
Listen, this is what made me think of it, right? Listen, I was so fucking shook because I'm like, have y'all ever seen the movie Jumper?
No.
Okay, there's a movie Jumper. It's about basically people who have the ability to like shoot and they like jump to Italy and like jump to. So I'm thinking he's a jumper who jumped onto my balcony, like came out of nowhere, jumped and was on my balcony. Okay, because I'm like, how did he? Okay, all right. So I get up and I'm like, first of all, I would like to say that I immediately registered. We were talking about body language. I immediately registered that he was in fear. Right? So it wasn't, you know how, if he would have been in here hawking like, I'd have been like, bitch, I'm about to die. But I immediately registered he was in fear. He was running for something. He looked paler than a fucking, I don't even know. And I was like, okay, I'm not really in danger, but this is obviously some weird shit, but I'm not.
He's here, so bitch, I may be in danger.
Right.
He's here.
But I'm not in immediate danger, so I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Right. And so I'm like, excuse me, what are you doing? And he doesn't speak English. He was black, had dread, nigga, like straight up. Doesn't speak English. And I found out that he's from the DR. But he basically was telling me, in the English that he was able to speak, he basically said to me, like, he said, I'm scared, upstairs, gun. And I'm like, okay, you need to not be in here because that ain't my business. So you have underwear on. Get the fuck out. Right. And he's like, I cannot leave, upstairs, gun. My girl, man, come home. So then I'm putting together that he's up there in the damn... First of all, hello? I live on, for fucking reference, I live on the 20th floor. The floor above me is the top floor, which is like the penthouse fancy floor. Yeah. So he was up there visiting a bitch, probably in the middle of, getting a cootie cat, because he had underwear on, okay? And his penis was hard. And her man came home and had a gun when he realized that they was getting it in. And his fight or flight brain was so shook that he chanced jumping from the upstairs balcony onto my balcony instead of staying in the fucking apartment. My God. Which that alone is like could be a whole research study on like fight or flight and like what, have you heard
he could have easily missed and just fell.
And died. Splat.
Fully died.
He said to himself in that quick split second, I would rather chance this than be in the crib and get shot. Like,
this happened.
Can you imagine? Yes. And so he's telling me this, and I'm like, again, he looks, and then like your human, empathy kind of kicks in. And I'm like, I feel for you. I understand you're in a situation that's scary. But I was like, sir, I didn't say sir, but I was like, because he's a nigga, so but he don't speak English, so I can't like do like that. But I'm also like, but you can't stay in here. Yeah. Like I hear you, and I really apologize, but you cannot be in here. And so he's like, I want to call the cops, and then I'm like, you're not calling the cops in my house because you're not bringing the cops to my house. Yeah. Like, so I'm like, we're not calling the cops. Like he's like, so I'm like, let's go downstairs, and he's like, I cannot leave. So he's not leaving. He's not giving me an option. Like, he's not even giving me a fucking choice. Like, he's so shook. So first of all, I'm like, let me get you some clothes because he's just standing in his underwear. So I get him like a big ass like hoodie and some shorts, and he looks crazy in that outfit, obviously, because it's like, what the fuck? But
what the fuck?
And then we go and we sit, and I give him some water, and he starts to try to tell me more information as best as he could. And he basically tells me that he's been dating this girl, that he came out here to visit. He's from Orlando, or lives in Orlando, but he's from DR. That he knows that she has an ex, but thought that they weren't talking, but apparently they have been talking. Apparently he lives with her or some bullshit he didn't know. He comes in the fucking house, so he jumped down here. And then I asked him, like, how did you jump down here? And he was like, I don't even fucking know. Like, he couldn't even register.
Yeah, he didn't even see that shit.
And then long and the short, I'm like, all right, let me walk you downstairs because I'm sorry, but because then I'm freaking out because I'm like, you're fucking with my safety at this point.
Hell yeah.
Because if that man, if he puts two and two together and he comes down here and he shoots me, I'm not trying to die for you because you're a side nigga. I'm sorry, but I am not doing that. So I'm telling him, I'll walk downstairs with you. And it's not even like I can protect him if we go downstairs and then do one. If we go out the door and he wants to shoot you, he's going to shoot you. I can protect you, but I'm trying to get him the fuck out of my house. Right. So I'm like, I'll walk downstairs with you, and he says no. So he basically just begged me to call the police. So I had no option. I said, fine, you can call the police. But of course, he don't have a phone, so he's got to call from my fucking phone. So then he calls from my fucking phone, and then the operator doesn't speak Spanish, which that to me is already problematic because I'm like, we live in fucking Miami. It should be accessible for him to be able to be like, in fucking Spanish. So they have to get a damn translator. So I'm like hearing, as like an outsider, but so he's speaking Spanish. Then the translator is like telling the operator. It's like this whole big ass situation where it takes way longer than just regular. Which, like, side note, fuck Miami for not being fucking accessible for Spanish speakers. It's fucking majority of people here are fucking Spanish speakers.
Right.
So then they take, of course, forever to get here. And even when they get here, he's scared to go outside. He's scared to fucking leave the fucking house. Like, he don't want to leave the damn fucking house. Shit. And then, as we're sitting here waiting for the cops to fucking come, this is when the whole situation is like, this is why I should have a gun. But this is when the real gun situation comes in. Then he starts telling me that they were up there having an argument earlier in the day because he saw her texting the ex and he thought that they were just friends, blah, blah, blah. And he told me that he choked her out. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? Like, now you're uncomfortable and you're also not letting me kick you out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not even giving me the option to be like, get the fuck out. I've asked you mad times and you're like, no, I won't leave. So he's telling me, you know, because he didn't say I choked her out. He was just like, you know, we argue, like that type of thing. And I'm like, he's like, I'm trying like confirm, bitch. He's like, yeah, I'm angry. And I'm like, what? And then what he said to me was that he's seen me before in the elevator. And then that made me shook because what I'm thinking is, so did he think in his head that it was okay to come down here? Because he's seen me before? And then that made me fucking scared because I'm like, who the fuck is you to even, what?
I need a gun.
Hello?
You got me about to go.
Hello?
Because he came downstairs and you said, oh, gun? Yeah, there's one here too, nigga.
Exactly. Like,
get the fuck
I'm going to get my little piece and be like, yes. But just FYI, look at what the fuck I got going on because get the fuck out of my house.
Bitch,
bruh,
that's crazy.
Yes, it fucking is. Can you imagine us sitting here right now? All of a sudden we hear a loud noise, and there's a man standing right there.
So quick, I would run out.
My yes, like hell no.
It was so fucking scary. Yes,
with a hard dick.
Yes,
scared as fuck.
Yes. And the thing is, like, in your, in terms of like feeling safe in my home is like a big thing for me, and like this is my sacred space. This is my boom boom boom, making sure that I don't have people in here because I have so much around like being in my home and it actually being a really scary place and not being a safe place and blah blah blah. So I've like tried really hard for this to be like different, whatever. And so I'm thinking to myself, oh, I live on the 20th floor. I'll never have to worry about somebody coming on this end. I never have to leave this locked. I never have to do the front. Of course, I'm gonna leave it locked, even though I have great security here. But back here, I'm like, oh no. Now, that's completely fucked. Yes, now I got fucking damn Spider-Man coming down the fucking top thing. You feel me? Like, hello? Okay, we're going to get into just a tip.
Hey.
So,
just a tip.
My question for just a tip is, how do I get over someone I never actually dated but developed feelings for?
We've all been there. Like... We've all been there.
Yeah, we have all been there. We were just talking today. We've all been the dumb bitch.
Yeah.
We have all been the dumb. How do I get over someone? Let me read it again.
Yeah, is it get over?
How do I get over someone I never actually dated but developed feelings for? Wow, I feel that question so heavy in my soul.
Me too.
Right? It's like, damn, I
always developing feelings.
Right. I feel like I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
But I just feel like in our culture of millennials, I guess, we have developed this situationship culture.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, a lot of people are falling for people that they haven't exclusively stated what we're doing exactly. And then even just that question of what are we is frowned upon, like to ask that question. Correct. What are we? What are we doing? That is frowned upon, and so we have created this cycle of almost dating somebody but not dating somebody, and it not working for the best. Like it just, but like I don't know that it has ever actually worked out how anyone wants it to work out. I don't even know how to answer that question.
I feel like it out. It's just important of like just you talk about this a lot about accepting rejection.
Yeah.
So just like literally like if you have feelings for somebody and you want it to be more, like just communicating with them how you feel. Like, this is how I feel. I want to know how you feel. If they reject you, then you now know. Now you know what to do. Like, you can either accept it and continue the relationship how it is, or you can not accept it and move on. But it's hard. It's hard when you just like do shit with people and you never really establish like what you are with them, because you really don't know how to move forward. Right. You really don't know how to like navigate that situation, because it's like, where we are is good.
That's literally what I was going to say.
But I don't want to ruin it. If I ask this question, am I going to ruin it? Am I going to make it weird for us now? I don't want to make it weird, so I'm not going to say anything. But my feelings are hurt because you're doing this, you're doing that. So it's like, it's just a very weird position.
Yeah.
I was literally going to say that, like, with where we are is good. Like, in some situations, like, it's not that I want to spend more time with you, or it's not that, whatever. I just need a clear definition of what this is so that I could know how to navigate from that point. Like, you know, I think in my personal situations, a lot of times when I tell people that I am down to date you and you can date other people and I can date other people, they don't believe me. Yeah. And I think that that's because, and we talked about this yesterday too at some point, like, I think that that's because, like, they have been lied to before, or where someone has told them, like, it's okay, I'm okay, you can date other people, and then it's not okay with them, but, like, it's whatever. And I've just gotten to these weird situations where people don't believe me, and when I'm telling them, like, it's okay, so then they never want to move to something that's more serious because they feel like, I don't know, I'm lying to them, or they don't think I could handle that situation or whatever. I don't know, but I don't know.
I think that when I first read this question, that my thought process goes to prevention rather than how do I deal with it, which is a thing that we should talk about as well. But I think I go to prevention. So how do I get over someone I never actually dated but developed feelings for? So my first thing is going to the point in which you are in a situation and you say to yourself, I am dealing with this person in some capacity, not dating them, and I'm starting to develop feelings. How can I immediately handle this? So I go to that point of before. Like, so we're not even on the other end of it, we're on the beginning end of it. And I think that I mostly think about, like, being, a couple of things. I think the first thing is talking to yourself. I think the first thing is we typically tend to not be okay with having feelings for people if the scenario is not explicitly dating. And I'm not okay with that. I think that is really devoid of human everything. It is okay to develop feelings for people that you're just fucking. Right. It's okay to develop feelings for people that you are just fucking and friends with. It's like, it's okay to develop feelings. It's really a matter of how are you going to manage those feelings? What are you going to do about those feelings? Are you going to communicate those feelings? Are you going to keep them to yourself? Like, what are you going to do about those feelings? And so I think the first thing is, like, it's okay to fucking develop feelings. We are human people. We thrive off of feelings and emotions and human connectedness, so it's going to happen, and that's fine. However, now the next thing is, all right, what do I do about it? And so I think another piece of it is we get into these situations where I think specifically cishet women get into these situations with men where men kind of very explicitly tell us, I only want to fuck, but then we develop feelings, and because we don't have really the skills to manage our feelings, then we get into, like, feeling all types of ways, and the man has communicated, but, like, okay, well, what are we? And, like, we're not really honoring their boundaries because we're getting caught up in our own bullshit. And it's like, if the boundaries have been set, which a lot of times they are, explicitly or implicitly, like, you know when a nigga only want to fuck you, but then you want to get caught up in your own shit, and it's like, so I feel like there's another piece of it too, where it's like we have to be kind of realistic about, like, what the scenario is, and then of course, but honoring ourselves, you know, like, all right, let me see what's going on with me, what, you know, whatever. But, like, it's okay that I'm feeling this way, but, like, all right, let me be realistic about what is the fucking scenario. You feel me? And, like, yeah, and then, like, communicating that. I think that we also get caught up in, like, not talking about it, like, you know, we just fucking so long. No, it's like, it's okay. Like, I don't know. I feel like the people that I have like casual sex with, which have mostly in my life have been, like, tricks, because that's, like, I'm newly trying to not fuck tricks, but it's like, those are the people who I'm fucking, so I have to manage my feelings with fucking tricks. And I absolutely develop feelings from my tricks. So it's not a matter of don't develop feelings. No, develop feelings, but figure out how to fucking manage those feelings. So I just feel like this whole question for me is more about on the front end rather than the back end. Because if you're honest with yourself about how you're feeling, if you're honest with yourself about what the situation can actually become or not become, rather, if you're honest about how you're communicating, if you're honest about what the boundaries they set were, all of those things can really help on the fucking end, the other end of this, you know? Because I think we sometimes, like, hype ourselves up and, like, oh, it's gonna be good. No, it ain't gonna be that, bitch. Like, it ain't gonna fucking be that. So it's like, and also I have talked about this with men before, specifically men who actually treat women, like, decently, and they have situations where they're just, like, fucking girls, but like, you know, they take them out on dates and shit because it's like, you're human, you deserve to be, you know, whatever.
Right.
And then girls are like, oh, well, so we're dating then, and like so you love me, you want to be with me, and the guy's like, no, I pretty explicitly said I just want to have sex. But women are so used to being treated like shit, we have no reference for how to handle men treating us okay.
I feel like I feel like that's why we develop feelings a lot too, because like the moment, like for me, because I am a sex worker, like I don't really deal with men like trying to like date me or anything like that. Not even like because I like they don't want to, just because I don't do it, just because I like to keep shit like money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I do like date men, like for my personal or like I develop feelings for tricks, it's because of shit like that. Like they're taking me out on dates. Yeah. They're cuddling with me, and like I don't really experience that, so I'm like, does he like me for real? Like, does he want to date me? And that's when I start acting crazy, because it's like, I don't really experience that in my real life. And I don't know how to separate that, like, he's just doing that because y'all are in the moment. Like, just accept it for what it is. Like, in my mind, it's like, he fucks with me, he likes me, he loves me, he wants to do this.
Right. So now, and we go extreme. Right.
Yes,
we're getting
extreme. And also, it's not just us personally, it's the people around us, too. Like, I have a guy, that comes to my job all the time, and like he specifically wants to come to me, and like we, you know, he's fine as fuck, like he has a lot of fucking money, he's around my age, like I really would love to marry him, but like you know, whatever, like he's my little crush or whatever, and we talk and whatever case, and my coworker's like, oh, he like you, girl, why y'all don't like, why you don't, and like it's like, no, like he's actually just a nice person, and like he's actually just being nice to me, and I know that none of us are used to seeing that often, but like sometimes niggas are actually nice, you know, like exactly. and if he wanted to date me, he would have been done that. He would have been giving me his number. He would have been da-da-da-da. So like it doesn't help when it's like I said, I have a crush on him already.
When you have community who's hyping up the delusion.
They're like, yes, bitch, he loves you. He wanna get married. Like,
that's because we're all in our delusion. It goes straight to the extreme.
Yes,
it's not that.
And so
I really want to encourage people to lean into their feelings and better manage them rather than not try to catch feelings. Yeah. Because the reality is, like I said earlier, we develop feelings because that is the human condition, to develop feelings for people. And it's okay. So I feel like the better thing for this like kind of the answer, my answer to be difficult is lean into your feelings for people when you develop them, and be honest with yourself about how you want to manage them. And that can include talking to the person directly or not, you know, but it's really, I feel like more so about that. And then the other end of that is way easier. It's not really about how do I cope no, you don't have to cope at this point because you've already talked to yourself. Because there are so many niggas who I like do play pretend with, where it's like, oh, we're so in love, and it's like, no, but we're really not in love. Yeah. But I really love his company. I really love to be held by him. I love to be touched by him. Mm-hmm. And I can also reconcile with the fact that we will never be together. Right. And making sense of that. You know what I mean? And that's difficult, I think, especially for women, because we're socialized really to prioritize marriage, and this is such a big achievement, and intimacy, and boom, 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 and it's like this big fairy fucking tale of whatever. So I think I have really tried to like unlearn that whole thing, and also just really enjoy, like, I love to cuddle and be intimate. So I have now learned how to just enjoy being in that moment and not to make that into something it's not. It is exactly what it is in this present moment, and it's not going to be anything else, and that's okay. So I'm going to be present here, and I'm going to enjoy this fucking cuddling. I'm going to enjoy this intimacy and holding my feet and kissing on me and shit. Yeah. But I'm not going to be like, oh, this means it. Or rather, let me also say, maybe I'll fantasize, but I won't let that get the better of me. Right. You know what I mean?
You know, and I think it's also important for the person that you're dealing with to understand that some people do have the capability to feel that way, to understand that it's not going to be more than this. So it's okay if you want to cuddle with me. If you want to stay,
you don't have to be devoid of that.
Yeah, like if you want to spend the night or whatever case, like you can do that. Like I'm okay. Like I understand that this is what this is. Like if we have communicated properly, and I think that's where I was going with the whole like, you know, me saying that you can date other people, you can do whatever. Like you need to understand that I understand, like I clearly understand what our situation is. So you can make it more, but not more, you know, like you said, you don't have to avoid me.
Yes. We can. No, I love it. Please. I am totally down with the fact that we are here for one night and we're gonna cuddle and pretend that we're married. Right. And then tomorrow we not gonna talk to each other for fucking 4 months. I'm okay with that.
That's what I need to learn. I feel like
it's a practice.
It's very hard. I feel like I'm slowly getting there. Like after this last situation that I've been in, I'm slowly getting there where I'm like, okay, like I need to understand like it's okay to feel that way, but I also feel like know that it's not going to be anything else besides that. Yes, because it's always been very hard for me to accept that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because of how I'm just socialized as a woman. Like I don't understand why a man would do that for a woman he doesn't actually feel that way for.
Which is a great reflection point for you, right?
Yeah. And so to me, when a man does that and shows me that, it's kind of like, and he doesn't show that after I'm away from him, it's kind of like, you used me, but it's like, no, he didn't use you. Like, majority of people who I feel this way for are paying me, so it's like, he didn't use you. He paid you money.
It's a very clear boundary.
Right, so obviously, so there's no reason why you should feel used. You didn't do this for free, so there's no reason why you should feel used. But it's just hard for me sometimes to separate my feelings from a lot of situations, and, like, that's what I'm trying to learn to do. And so this was very, like, okay, yes, it's valid for me to feel how I'm feeling. Yes. But it's also, I need to understand that sometimes it's not more than that. Yeah. And I need to accept that, and it's okay. Correct. Because those type of relationships could also be fulfilling. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And also, I don't think so much that it needs to be separate your, like, that from this. It's more so of, if I develop it, how am I going to manage it? Right. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm not, because I feel like trying to avoid shit makes it even more bigger. Yes. It's like a bigger thing. It's like, no, it's like, let me lean into this bitch. What am I feeling? What am I getting from this? Like, I'll be sitting there thinking to myself, like, why am I loving this so much? Like, what is it about this that is like drawing me the fuck in? It's and then when when I figure that out, then I feel more, like I have more insight about myself. And I'm like, okay, cool, this is maybe one of my needs. Right. This is one of the things that I look for in a relationship of some, of some sort. And then being honest with myself about, okay, I'm going to get it from this relationship, but it is not going to be this and this and this and this. It's just going to be that, So it's like, I feel like lean into it, learn about yourself, figure out, what parts of it makes you uncomfortable, what parts of it is like so seductive to you. This is what draws me into it, and fucking manage it. Learn how to manage it. You don't got to fucking separate it. Just figure out how you're going to manage it.
Right. Yeah. Like you have control over your own everything. So like if you really have to figure it out. Like, if down the line you're like, hey, I cannot separate this. Like, it fucks with me so much. Then you need to make that choice. Like, you can continue to be sad and deal with what you're dealing with, or you can get the fuck up and change your situation. Like, you have that ability. Yeah. Like, you have that power to make that choice.
Yeah, that's a good point, too. So, I will say, just for the back end of this, I honestly feel like everything that we just said can also be used on the back end. So essentially, if you have done this already and you are now on this other side of, all right, how do I get over it? I think that what we just talked about in terms of reflection points are things to think about. So looking back on the situation and being like, what made me uncomfortable? What served me? Was there space to communicate? Yes or no? If there wasn't, what could have been a space to communicate so I can implement that in my next relationship? How can I better advocate for myself? Like all of those things. How can I set better boundaries for myself? What needs to be in place for me to set better boundaries? Like everything we just kind of talked about was like for like other end, but it also can be applied on the other end as well, if that makes sense.
It does.
So yeah, and I also just like be kind with yourself, because I feel like we all have kind of been in a situation where it very clearly isn't that, but we end up being like, I love you. Right? You know what I mean? Like, we have all been in that damn situation. You feel me? So, like, be kind with yourself, because we've all been there.
Okay. My question was, do you think women should only fuck for coin? Do you fuck for pleasure or only for coin, or both? Okay. So, as a sex worker, this year I started dabbling with fucking for both, because I feel like, okay, when it comes to sex work, a lot of times it's not, I'm not saying it's not pleasurable for me, but it's not like my ideal sexual.
It's fucking work.
Right, exactly. So, like, a lot of times it would be like people that I wouldn't necessarily. And I don't want to say that because I don't want my clients to feel bad. But, like, because I fuck with y'all. Y'all are
of course.
I love y'all. But, like, in my everyday life, like, would I fuck a lot of the people who I fucked for money? No, I would not. Yeah. And that's okay. But,
they know that.
And they know that. Yes, and they know that. And so I've been more, like, this year I've been more open to, like, fucking people for me and what I want.
Yeah.
But then when I fuck people for free, it's always a disappointment. And I'm like, I should have never done that shit. It wasn't even worth it. Because low-key, some of the clients who I would never fuck for free have made me orgasm.
I swear to God.
Which is the weirdest shit to me, because it's like, I would have never guessed, I would have never guessed that you knew how to eat pussy like this. But like some of the clients who I would have never fucked for free, they know how to like fuck and
even with
eat
women,
pussy.
You have issues with that.
So I don't really fuck a lot of women. I do, like, all the women that I fucked are women that I want to fuck, and it's all been great. Like, every single experience that I've had with women, the first time I squirted was with a woman. So, I've never had, like, with women, it's never been an issue. This is strictly for cishet men, just so y'all know.
I figured that. That's why I was to ask.
But, yeah, no, with women, it's never been an issue. Like, I would fuck every single one. But, like, with just, like, men in general, it's, like, it's just weird because, like, men that I would never fuck in real life, like, are making me come. And then I feel weird about it because it's like, yo, should I be letting do so I don't want to never fuck, like, fuck me? Because this is weird. So now I'm more so, like, trying to find men who I want to fuck and then also pay me. That way it can be easier for me to just enjoy the experience in total, because when I fuck men for free, I feel bad because I'm like, why am I doing it for free when I shouldn't have to?
Okay, I want to ask you, there's so many things here. The first thing is...
Let me dabble.
Yeah, the first thing is, okay, I very much so relate. Okay, the majority of the clients that I had were, like, sexy as athletes. When I did tours, they were regulars. And I'm not going to lie, in the majority of years of me doing, like, sex work, I had more orgasms than ever in my life. And they were from these regular, not really attractive, I'm not even really attracted to you, ass men. Yeah. And I got into this place where I was feeling, I think, gross with myself. I can't really describe viscerally how it feels to have an orgasm by someone who you are disgusted by. And I feel bad to say that. Yeah. So I just want to, like, talk about that, because I don't know if, like, and I'm sure that maybe, I'm sure that other sex workers can also relate, particularly, like, full service sex workers who work with, like, The point is, first of all, I just want to say that this solidifies for me that orgasms do not take, like, this big ass momentous thing. No. It just takes you being able to do the right shit. Do you feel what I'm saying? Because I have a very specific client who I'm thinking of, and, like, shout out to him, but, like, he is not attractive. I would never have sex with him for free. Ever. Not attractive at all. Every time I see him, he makes me come back to back to back. Literally. And I be feeling disgusting about my nuts, but they be feeling crazy.
So, like, change that, though. Like, if you know he's gonna make you come crazy, like, I feel like you should bask in that moment. And because, like, when you're saying, like, the whole, like, if he's ugly, he's disgusting.
So
and
what I'm gonna say, like, in a little bit, we gotta take it out.
But, like, you know, like the shame that you feel if not even just that, like, you know, you said it's not a whole, like, big, like, having an orgasm isn't like, oh, I have to be connected to
not at all.
But, like, I think the connection with those people, that makes bad sex good. You know what I mean? Like, when you have that connection with somebody, like, bad sex becomes good because, like, oh my God, I care about him.
Yeah, that's true.
So, like, if you could turn that shame into, like,
you're saying, like, it would be good sex?
Yes. Like, it could be, like, actually fucking way crazier than how good it already is on the surface. And I guess I don't know how that feels also, because of course, I have no clue how that feels.
We're gonna start the bleeping here. So, like, my client who I always see when I come to is this old ass man who's like 60-something years old, and I saw him yesterday. He pays me good as fuck. And he makes me orgasm every time from eating pussy. Like, he eats pussy. That's the most amazing pussy eating I've ever experienced in my life. And he knows what the fuck to do. But when I tell you I'm so disgusted by him,
what do you think about when you're fucking with him?
I'm like, I literally sit back and I'm imagining like people I fucked in the past.
All right, yes, me too.
So like the whole time I'm thinking about like
fantasy.
Damn, like such and such eating my pussy, such and such like fucking me. I'm thinking about past sexting, so I'm not thinking about him. Because at first, when he's eating me out, I'm staring at him and I'm like, yo, this old ass grandpa is eating my fucking pussy right now.
Oh my god, yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like,
you could come and still also be in your head fucking much.
Yeah.
But then when I come, after I'm done coming, I'm like, bitch, this is gross.
You feel disgusted.
Your senses.
This is gross as fuck.
I feel that.
Like, this old ass man is older than your father.
Yes.
Like I said, I cannot relate on that level. But as like,
so like how the fuck do I navigate
9 to 5
that shit?
As a 9 to 5
but as
worker?
Like, it's work.
I know like racist ass motherfuckers that come and like I have to be nice to them because like it's my job and I have to do that, and like people who I would never fucking deal with outside. Like at the end, like it's fucking work. Like it's fucking work. If a fucking person like literally it's happened to me, or a person I fucking hate said something funny and like that pissed me off that I fucking chuckled, like. I don't want to fucking laugh at you, bitch. I don't fucking like you, but like, I
So I think
I love what you're saying, which is essentially to feel empowered by these scenarios where we're actually having orgasms.
Right.
I love that concept,
it's important,
but it's hard.
But it's hard.
It's hard.
So I feel like, okay, should you fuck with?
Okay, right. So get the question.
Should you fuck for coin? Absolutely. I feel like men in general, a lot of cishet men, they can't make you come anyways,
right.
So might as well get something out of the situation. If that's a fucking meal, your rent paid, your internet paid, your cell phone bill paid, get that shit fucking paid because they can barely do shit. So get what you can. If you can find somebody who can pay you and give you an orgasm, bitch, you hit the motherfucking jackpot.
Correct.
You're lit. If you're just a hoe and you just fucking for bread, it's okay. Get the vibrator, bitch. That's how I do it.
Your job.
Like, whatever. It's your job. That's what you're doing.
Fucking work.
So I feel like everything is valid. Whatever you want to do is okay. You just gotta learn how to, I guess.
And you know what? It also kind of ties into, like, what you were saying. Well, from my non-sex worker mindset. Like, it ties into what we were, the other question. Like, I lost my train of thought.
Okay, I'm going to just say that think of it, if you think of it, and interrupt me. What I'm going to say is, I don't know if the person asking is a former sex worker or what their positioning is, because I would say that the context of being a sex worker and then moving into vanilla relationships adds to the confusion, because once you are used to getting paid, it's being hard. In situations where you're not getting paid just seems void of anything. Yes. So I just want to add that context. But I also want to say that I am trying to be better about being non-judgmental about women who do not get paid for sex, specifically because I'm trying to grasp and acknowledge the reality that not everyone can negotiate that. I have the privilege of whatever privilege I have to negotiate, you're going to give me money to access my body. Not everyone has that ability to negotiate that. So I try to move from the perspective of like not being like the bitch that's like, well, you should be getting niggas who ain't $1,000. You know, it's like not everybody can fucking ask for that. Like not everybody's in a situation where so there's that piece of it. Is like I try to acknowledge that like some people just cannot fucking negotiate that type of shit. So there's that. The second thing is that I feel jealous in a way of people who can have sex for free and enjoy it fully and wholly and presently because I cannot. And so I am not at all going to shit on that because wow, what an experience I imagine that to be. And that is an experience that I do not have and cannot relate to at all. Right. And if that is an experience you're having to have like really ethical, reciprocal, I feel seen, I feel touched, I feel held. If that is your situation, I would feel like I'm selling it by telling you should be getting coin. Right. You know what I mean? Right. I've had some sexual relationships where I feel like, oh, it's so intimate and I'm enjoying this, but I still feel like, but you give me the money. You know what I mean? Like, not so much where I'm like, I don't want no money from it. So if I were able to like encounter a situation where I'm like, I'm really feeling it's ethical, and also, I mean, most of us, that's not a situation for most of us, right? Most of us are not actually having a situation. Most of us are having really unethical sex with, specifically cishet women are having a lot of unethical sex with cishet men who are not making us come and who are also not paying us. So that's kind of like a Candyland fucking fairy tale. But I just want to say that I feel like I cannot say you should be getting paid if you are kind of having sex that makes you feel empowered. Mm-hmm. And I also want to say the majority of my life, I have had sex for free, and it was not empowering sex. Yeah, no. It was free sex that was just like, oh, I'm getting fucked over type of shit. But I still kind of felt empowered by it in a way, even though like when I look back on it, it's like it really wasn't empowering at all. So I feel like there's just like so many nuances and like context matters and like what is the situation and blah blah blah, and like it's like dependent. It's just like, so it's like hard for me to like give a general answer to the question. Mm-hmm. But I really think that when it comes down to it, when I try to talk to people about their approaching sex situation, is I try to ask, what do you want from the situation? Yeah. What do you want out of this? Do you want to have, because everybody has sex for different reasons. Mm-hmm. Do you want to reconnect with this person? Maybe you don't want to have sex because you want to get a nut. Maybe you just want to reconnect. Do you want intimacy of some sort? Oh, I just want to be held. I want to be touched. I want to be kissed. Fine. Do you want to explore sexually? Like, oh, it's like a fucking science experiment, because that's how I be approaching lots of sex sometimes. It's like, bitch, I'm gonna just be trying shit out. I don't know. Right. Fine. Do you want to get a bill paid? You want a meal? You want to get a ride somewhere? Bitch, I'm gonna fucking honor that. You feel me? Like, you got to go to the damn fucking store to feed your kid. You know, so I try to ask people, what do you want out of this scenario? Maybe it's not monetary, and that's fine, but kind of figuring out what you want out of it to feel like on the other end of the sex that you don't feel used, if that makes sense. So that's kind of just where I come from with the whole like coin situation, because I don't know. And I think also, like I said at the beginning, it's hard because if you are a sex worker and going into vanilla sex, it already is going to feel
hard for
trash because it's like, I'm used to getting money.
I just went on a vanilla date and it was very hard for me. Like, I've only been on 2 like vanilla dates this entire year, and it's both have been very hard for me to kind of accept that I'm not going to get paid for my time.
It's like, what are we?
And I kind of feel like sex work in a way has kind of like
warped your sense of
fucked up my relationships with like regular people, because it's like in regular life people don't act like this.
That's a whole nother like episode, but I would love to know how you all like navigate an actual relationship. Yeah, like how do you even get a chance to have an actual relationship for free? Like, how do you even...
I don't know because it's just like...
No, we'll put a pin in it.
Yeah.
Put a pin in that. We'll talk about that for our next episode.
What I remember what I was going to say. Okay, and what I was just going to say is that I feel like, kind of what I already said, like, to try and find the pleasure in work, and what piggybacked off of before is be open to catching those feelings for your tricks. You know what I mean? Like, be open to doing that so that in that experience, you have the best of both worlds. Yeah. Like, you can enjoy that intimacy, that cuddling, that, you know, all of that. But if he's disgusting, I know that's fucking hard.
No, and I know, I totally love the perspective you're coming from, which is like, revel in the orgasm you're getting, because how rare is the damn orgasm? Mm-hmm. I get it. I do get it, and
that orgasm was good as fuck.
Because the point is, what we're saying is we're getting these damn orgasms from people we are not expecting to get them damn from. Right. But it's just like wrapping our head around it is just like so crazy, because we have our own concepts of like what's sexy, what's attractive, what feels good, what doesn't, and then they go against all of that shit. Yeah. So, but I do love that, because it's like, I am getting these orgasms. I talk so much shit about not having an orgasm, but here I am having back-to-back orgasm with this person
at the same time,
who I would not have expected it from. So I not should.
Fucking job.
It would make sense to have more, you know, pride or something out of that.
That's a whole different discussion too, because I feel like as sex workers, we're kind of like told like you're not supposed to enjoy shit with tricks.
Like it's performance.
Like a lot of like old school hoes are like, you're not supposed to kiss your tricks. Mm-hmm. You're not supposed to hold hands with them. You're just supposed to fucking go. Right. But it's like, you're doing such an intimate thing with these people. How are you not supposed to be more intimate with them? Like, how are you not supposed to have, like, kiss them? How are you not supposed to... Which, I've had tricks where I don't kiss, but, like, I do kiss some of my tricks. Yes. But it's like, we're having literal sex. Right. Like, to me, that is a part of having sex. It's kissing. Yeah. It's holding hands. It's rubbing.
Intimacy. Like, that's sex.
So it's like, how do I not have this with people that I'm doing this shit with, whether it's for money or not for money?
But like I literally think of it as any other job. Like, it is way better to enjoy, actually fucking enjoy
and I
your
enjoy
job
kissing.
than to fucking just have to get up and go to work every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks on all levels. Like, that fucking sucks to just get up and have to go to work. But if you get up and you know you're finna fucking get this bomb-ass orgasm today, like,
Facts.
I know, like, bitch,
I already know I'm having a couple orgasms.
Yes, like...
Yeah, and I think I also want to say that there's, in terms of, like, intimacy, that there's another piece of it, and I don't experience this very rarely, but, like, there are certain full-service sex work scenarios where the people that you are having intimacy with do not have intimacy otherwise. And so they want to have very intimate kind of actions with you.
Who am I to deny that for
exactly
them?
So there's like that piece of it too, and I didn't experience that with like athlete tricks at all, right? You know, but when I did tours and I'm with regular dudes who perhaps
work all the fucking time,
I mean,
or don't have women who are attracted to them, cannot figure out how to, you know, are too anxious to have, you know, and it's like that. I feel like really puts you in the like sex work like realm of like, I'm really doing good important work.
I've had men literally do things like bring me fucking like flowers and stuff like that.
Because they want to experience that.
Yes.
And I just saw a tweet talking about this. I just saw a tweet of a girl who was like, shout out to all my disabled clients.
I saw that tweet too, yeah.
And that's what made me think about that, because it's like,
yes.
Okay, if I were to get a disabled client, am I really going to be like, you can't kiss me, you can't touch me, you can't do this? When it's like, maybe that's all they want to do.
Correct, exactly.
Maybe they don't have the capacity to literally fuck you. They only have the capacity to kiss you, to hold your hand, to hug you, to cuddle with you. Am I really going to deny that part of intimacy with them because I'm a hoe?
Right.
No, because that is a very important part of sex and sexual relationships with people.
And being human.
Like, yes. That's a natural human thing to feel that way.
And I don't want to sound like a bitch at all, but like, honestly, I feel like that's literally your job. Like, that's literally like what they pay you to do is to, like,
I feel like a lot of hoes who feel like you shouldn't kiss are like old school bitches who are like, like back then they didn't have to worry about the internet. Like back then they used to catch shit just walking down the street. Like they were just freestyling hoes, which is like, y'all shit was valid, but it's 2019 now. Yeah, hoes are not.
It's like they like that pay you to make them feel good, and like that comes on all different aspects. Like it like that's what the fuck they pay you for.
Absolutely.
If you go to a fucking restaurant, you expect your waiter to fucking serve you, and like it's literally what you're expected to do.
Absolutely. So I've been doing a sex worker like healing group online, and one of the things that we make sure that we talk about is how important the work that we're doing is. And when we talk about that subject specifically, we talk about how necessary intimacy and connectedness is for humans. And so
men who have
pleasure,
intimacy, for that, by the way, I've been like that.
Men who have lost. I've met men who have told me like they booked me and they're like, this is the first time I've been with somebody since I lost my wife. And then when that happened to me, the first time that happened to me, I was like, I didn't know how to feel. I was just like, what the fuck? You know, I'm like, this is fucked up. And I made sure that I did the best that I could to my ability in that session to make him feel comfortable, because I'm like, you're giving me this type of trust. Right. You know, because it's not, I can't imagine how it is for somebody to like be in a situation and be like, okay, I'm not gonna meet somebody else, because he could easily meet somebody on a social media site, but he was like, I want a specific type of thing. Yeah. So I'm going to hire her to do it for me.
Right, exactly. So, I feel like you've had this conversation before of saying like why you would prefer to pay somebody to be your companion or whatever the fuck is because like same thing, like I hired you to do a specific thing, so like that's what the fuck you're gonna do. Right. And then if you're not going to do that, then like I have the choice to let you go and hire somebody else that's specifically what they're going to do. And it's like that makes sense. Like I get it.
Yeah, and I think that we in our society generally, we really deprioritize like the importance of pleasure and intimacy and affection and connectedness. And so I think that what people underestimate, or whatever the word would be, about sex workers is that that's what we're providing for people who perhaps otherwise are not getting that in their lives. And that's not for all of us, right? That's why I kind of said like in my majority of like athlete tricks, that's not really what that situation is. Right. But when I fuck like regular guys, I do feel like that is a lot of the time the situations where it's like, everyone. And I know that we talk about online, like it's a luxury to book a sex worker, and that's fine, and cool. But also, it is a human condition of needing and wanting intimacy and affection, to be seen, to be held, to be loved. So I think that we really devalue sex workers in that perspective because we're providing that where so many people are lacking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, so we can bleep this out too. But like, I have a client who booked me like 3 times last year. Well, he booked me once last year, 2 times this year. And he is completely paralyzed. Like, he got hit by a car. And after that car accident, he was completely paralyzed. And I think he won like a really big lawsuit against the person. I think it was like a company car or something like that who hit him. So he won like a lot of money. So he books a lot of escorts. And so like the first time I met him, I didn't really ask him like, so I followed him on Instagram because like my screening for him, I asked for like social media and shit. And so he sent me his page on Instagram. And I went and I saw that he was on a wheelchair. And that was my first time ever being with somebody who was disabled. So I was like, okay. So I asked him, I'm like, I've never been with somebody who's been disabled. How do you want me to make this more comfortable for you? Because he was booking me for an entire night. My entire night rate is $2,000.
Like, what are we finna be doing?
I'm like, I want to make sure this is worth it for you because it's not a little bit of money for somebody. You know?
And you're not finna be blowing your back out all night. So
well, I didn't know that because he told me, he was like, I can function just fine. Okay. And so I was like, okay, so in my mind, I'm like, well, he can still get hard, so I can still like ride his dick or something like that, so I can make it fun for him. Well, when I met him, he came into the room, and I expected him just to be paralyzed from like his like waist down. No, he's paralyzed from like his chest down. Yeah. So like even his hands and fingers, he couldn't move. So I had to help him onto the bed. Yeah. Which took us like 20 minutes alone because I'm not strong like that. Right. He's like 6'3".
Does he have like an assistant otherwise?
Well, I don't know if he does. I don't know if he does. And he probably does, but he probably didn't invite them to the book because he didn't want to make it weird for me. But like, so I had to like help him on the bed. And then like his penis is connected to like a fucking like urine bag type thing because he can't control that or anything like that. So the idea of me fucking him was out the window. Right. So that to me I feel like it made me into a better sex worker because it made me think about what can I do to turn him on to satisfy him sexually that does not revolve around his me dick. Fucking and sucking his dick. Right. So now I'm thinking of things out of my fucking head. I'm twerking on him. Yeah. I'm sucking on his neck. I'm doing all kinds of shit. I'm playing with myself in front of him, masturbating in front of him, and everything like that. And I love that too. It was a very cool experience because it kind of took me out of my comfort zone because I'm very used to just fucking and sucking. Right. And he kind of just made me kind of feel like, step your game up because that doesn't work for me because I can't do that. Right. So I'm doing all these things. He even booked me and my friend for a duo. So it was lit because me and her, we were both like masturbating in front of him with our toys and shit. And like he can still kiss and stuff. So like, while we're masturbating, we're kissing him and doing all these things. Yeah. And you can just see like
it's probably really erotic for him.
It is. And you can just see how satisfied he is sexually to be around. Because I don't know how much he won, but I'm sure he won a lot of money because he's like the type. I told him, I'm like, you can use me as a reference whenever the fuck you want because he sent me all my money up front, which he didn't have to because I don't require that. I mean, he sent me $2,000 up front, plus pay for my flight, plus pay for my hotel room. Yeah. So I'm like, you can use me as a reference whenever you want. Yo, and every single month, bitches are like, do you know him? I'm like, that's my favorite fucking client. Go see him. But I'll tell him, like, he's disabled, just let you know, but just be lit, bitches. Masturbate, just work, like, you're good.
Yo, stick a pin. That's a whole nother subject on how do potential tricks not get fucking tricked by women or people who like to like I need half up front.
Like decide who to trust to send money to.
Yeah, because I have talked to men who have tried to pursue a sex worker and they got fucking gypped. Like, they sent their money.
Which, fuck that.
And then the bitch never...
fuck them, because they make a bad name for all the rest of us.
Yeah, they sent their money, and then, like, the bitch was like, okay, now you need to send me more. Like, you know, and it's just like, how the fuck... I never actually thought about it. I'm always thinking about, like, how to keep the sex workers safe. How to protect them. And I never even thought about the fact that there's bitches who be
But
scamming.
we definitely deal with men who have been scammed before, and that affects our ability to do good work, because then we have to, like, deal with their anxiety around, are we going to do what we said we're going to do? So that it definitely is a good conversation, because it's like, who the fuck is out there doing bullshit?
Scammers.
Right.
Okay, so my question.
Yes.
My question is, I'm the only one of my friends who masturbates using penetration. Am I weird? Girl, no. Like, everybody likes different shit. Yeah. And I was not into penetration for a very long time. And mainly because niggas be fucking up. Like, niggas really be fucking jackhammering and fucking ramming their shit. And it doesn't feel pleasurable. But I have learned to very much at this point in my best orgasm career, I need both. Like, I need to be penetrated and have clit stimulation at the same fucking time, because when we first did the podcast, I was like
clit only,
solely clit, and now it's like I need both. Like, and I mean, of course, if you put a fucking vibrator to your clit, you're gonna fucking come, like, whatever. But it's not as enjoyable as if I have both.
So let me ask you this. So when you're doing penetration, is it... Okay, I don't really even know how to ask what I'm asking. Is it about the feeling of being filled up while you come? Or is it like... Because when you... Okay, so like... The time... When I masturbate and I do internal stuff at the same time, and I come... You know, when you have an orgasm, you're contracting, right? So you're squeeze. And I feel uncomfortable when I squeeze, and it's on a dildo. Mm-hmm. When I squeeze on a dick, I'm fine. But when I squeeze on a fucking dildo, it feels weird. So, like, So can you give me your insight on what that feels like for you?
I have had to, like, play with it. So I'm used to my partner, her fingers. Yeah. Or her using the dildo also. But, like, I've had to learn how to figure out how to make it feel good for me when I'm masturbating and doing both. Yeah. Since with her, I've realized that I like both more. Yeah. And for me, I don't know exactly what it is, but, like, I don't put the dildo all the way inside. Like, there's a feeling of just having it literally, like, slightly inside at the same time. And I think it's something with, like, I don't know, like, with my clit hitting the vibrator with the dildo or something, like, hitting my clit at the same, it feels like unbelievable. Like, and literally I don't put it all the way inside. Yes. I literally just, like, kind of inside the hole, but, like, just, like, kind of move it around inside the hole, and it just feels so fucking good.
All right, so a little anatomy tip. The deeper that you really go into a vagina, the less nerves there are, very specifically because of the vaginal canal being for childbirth. The accommodating childbirth, right? And so the majority of nerves that are around the vaginal canal, which are very few because the majority of them are on the clitoris, are on the external and very kind of on the immediate part of it. So that makes so much sense, just like anatomy wise, that it's like the kind of immediate part of it as opposed to going deep in. That makes so much sense.
And then, like, I can't just leave it there. I kind of sometimes I do have to go, like, I need the on and off. Like, I need to feel it and then go a little deeper so I don't feel it. And, like, so, like, the slow strokes with the vibrator on my clit is, like...
You're accessing all of those nerves, though, as opposed to ram. Right. You're really, like... Because what it sounds like is you're, like, accessing that, even though you're kind of going in and out, you're still pulling and tugging on those little nerves around the vaginal canal, and then also, like, the rest of the clitoral stuff. That's so interesting.
It is. Like, and now if I can't, like, it's so much better when someone else is doing it, honestly. It's so much better when someone else is doing it, and, like, me being with my partner for so fucking long, like, she knows exactly how to fucking do it, but, like,
Wow.
It's amazing. And now I don't want anything else, which also kind of sucks, but like, because like now when I'm just doing clit stuff, like it's not as much fun.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's hard to get, and now that you're giving me like the science of it all, like it's hard to sometimes always nail it right. properly by yourself when you can't fucking see down there, so you don't know where you're at.
Right.
So it has ruined clit masturbation for me. Like,
I hear you.
It really has. But
yeah, I have a toy that I have used that is like nice and curved, and when I have used it's curved, and then it also has like a portion of it that goes on your clit too. So it's like, I guess it's like called a rabbit, but it's not one of those rabbits that's like does all this crazy twirling and whatever. Right, it's just like here and here. It's actually up in my little studio in there on the wall. So, but when I have used it, I do this thing where it's like I go like this. I go like this with it. So it's like, but it's like not deep in my vagina. Right. It's just like in the very maybe 1 or 2 inches inside of my vagina. Exactly. But it's also hitting my clit too every time I kind of like stroke. Yes. So it's hitting those little nerves and then and like the twisting of it. Yeah, and it does feel really, really good. Yeah. And when I have had those orgasms, it feels good. And I think what I was originally asking was, when I have had orgasms, and this is exclusively about masturbating, I've done orgasms where I have like a big ass dildo inside of my vagina completely, and I'm also using a vibrator. And when I do that, as opposed to like the kind of external 1 or 2 inches, I have something fully in me and I come, that feeling is a little bit uncomfortable for me. Yeah. And I haven't been able to make sense of why that is. Right. But it's like, I don't know. It's like, it just feels uncomfortable. It's in a like, I would rather have like clit only or clit and penetrative, but it's only a little bit of inches in and not deep in my shit.
Right. Exactly. You know? Exactly that. Yeah. I don't know what it is that, I don't know either. It is not
It just doesn't feel the same. It's just not a comfortable feeling. Yeah. Yeah. I also have used that same toy to do really, really deep penetration. And I have hit a really deep inner spot, which is like kind of like, so if my cervix is here, and I'm kind of like going in, it's like upwards and like above the cervix kind of thing. And it has been really enjoyable for that. I don't know that I would call it like an orgasm similar to a clitoral orgasm, but it is a climactic feeling, if that makes sense. I don't think I can ever compare anything to a clitoral orgasm. Like, to me, the clit orgasm is the orgasm. Yeah. It's the orgasm, whatever. But I can definitely feel like a lot of pleasure around other things. And so when I use the toy to do that, I enjoyed a lot of deep penetration with the vibrator that I was using, because it curved up and to like kind of hit this really deep spot. But I was very lubed up. I used my own, I used lube, and I was doing deep, kind of slow. It wasn't ramming, right? And I was hitting this very specific spot, and it felt really good. And I wasn't doing any clit stuff, right. So it wasn't like a orgasm where I was doing the contractions. It was just like a good deep. I don't know. So it's just interesting to kind of like explore your whole vagina. Orgasm? Yeah, like you get like some like now that I like the penetration, and I just go through fucking phases. Like sometimes, like throughout my relationship with my partner, it's been like, I don't know, whatever. I go through phases. Yeah. So right now, that's what I fucking love, and it's just different. It's just different. It's a different type of orgasm that I really, really like right now. Yes. Compared to just before, when I only like fucking clitoral orgasms. Like now, when I have that, it's not the fucking same. Like, correct. Right. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say right now for me it's only clitoral. Like I don't even count. I still don't feel like I can come for penetration. No, I definitely straight something penetrating me the vagina. Yeah, no. Alone? No, there's no way. No. Like clitoral orgasms take me to another fucking period. World. Like dimension. Yes. Yeah.
No, straight penetration. There's no way. There's nothing's happening for me. Not fucking happening at like that's not fucking. You know what else I've been realizing? Like. My after orgasms, if that makes like those are stronger. Lately have been.
I can't do that.
Them shits have been like I'll come hard as fuck and it's like great, but then the like after ones are like literally like paralyzing. Like I'm like
Once that orgasm from clit, like I can't, like don't fucking touch me because I feel like it hurts. Like I feel like it
but like
hurts.
I'm not touched. Like no, but I'm not touched. That's the thing. Like I have been having like, or maybe like I'm not touched, but like if I squeeze my muscle a certain way, like my pussy a certain way, like I have.
Wait, so there's no more stimulation?
No.
Okay, no. I mean, like, if you keep stimulating me, like, I literally won't be able to orgasm. It just hurts. Like, it's uncomfortable.
No, that I think
like, I might understand. Once I orgasm, if you keep trying to go,
it's like, get off of me. Like,
it's like I won't orgasm again.
Yeah,
because I have tried it. I've tried it like with my vibrator. Like when I orgasm and I'll try to keep going. And it's like, no, like, this is, like, torture. Like, I can't do this anymore.
Like, no matter how low the setting is, like, that shit.
But you mean, like, so if you just, like, do contractions?
Yes. And, like, literally, I will come, like, literally, I will come maybe 2 more times. Like, after that. And I don't know if it's just a me thing. I don't fucking know. But it's after I use the vibrator. Like, yeah, after I use the vibrator, I don't know what the fuck, like, I really don't know what the fuck it is, but, like, I'll just, like, and I may not even try to squeeze. Like, if I move a certain way and I'll feel it and I'll just go, oh, shit. Like, I don't know if, I never know if maybe I didn't finish coming completely and then whatever movement I fucking did, maybe, but, like, literally. But
it's pretty immediately after, right? It's not like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes later.
No. It's literally, like, 30 seconds afterwards. Like, I'll be like, wow, like, I'll come and I'll be like, wow, this shit's fucking, right. Like, and then it'll happen again, but it can happen, like, two or three more times after that, and those feel better than, like, the original.
So you count those as orgasms?
I guess so.
Yeah. And then are those like one, or is it like, again and again, like multiple, or no?
Yeah, like 2 or 3 times at least after that. Yeah. Aftershocks. In order for me to have like multiple orgasms, I have to continue to be stimulated. I have tried scenarios where I come and then I'm just like squeeze, like I'm doing it right now, like squeeze, and it doesn't really, like, it increases what was the orgasm, but it doesn't create new orgasms. But times that I've had multiple orgasms have been like I come and then the stimulation continues, and I have this kind of 5 to 30 second period of like, I want to just like punch you in your face, like stop. Because it's like too fucking much. But if I like push through that, then it's like, and it's like, then it becomes this like really big. And then like my second and third are like way more intense than the first.
I've never tried it.
Because it feels crazy. It feels terrible. And I know exactly what you're talking about because honestly, this is what prompted my multiple orgasms. So I had a boyfriend in college who didn't like to eat pussy, but I was like, you gonna have to eat pussy if you're gonna be with me. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna learn. And so he used to eat my pussy, make me come, and I don't know how he learned this, but he learned to do like, I can't even do it on my own lips, but like making his lips vibrate on my clit. So what he would do is eat my pussy regular as fuck, make me come, and then he would do the there he goes thing on my clit, just straight up, and I literally would come like 8 times. After. Yes. Yeah. And back to back. Right. And like the immediate first couple of seconds, it would be like, I'm finna kick you in the face, nigga. Like, fuck out of here. But then I'd be like, shit. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And then it was like, okay, and coming. And then it was like, once I had the second one, then it was like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and it was like, I literally, with him, I had like 9 orgasms in like one sitting type of thing. Yeah. But it was also because he did that specific like lip thingy, and it felt like a vibrator kind of.
With that, what I have done is like, if I feel that like pain, instead of, I would put pressure on my clit. Like, if that makes, like, I would
like press harder,
just press down instead of like going side to side or circle, whatever the fuck I was doing. Like, I just press down and keep that shit going. That shit will fucking happen. And then like, just for those like 5 to 30 seconds, like just press, and then just be like, okay, now we got it, and then I'll fucking come that time.
And that's not to say that will work for everybody, right? So that's not to say like, oh, universally, like this is gonna work. I will just say that for me personally, and my little baby clit, that because even when I play with myself, like when I do masturbation, I don't have typically multiple orgasms because I have that one big ass nut, or maybe not even sometimes it's a week, and then I'm like, I can't even do it. But when it's a partner, like continuous stimulation, then I'm like, to myself, I can't do it.
That might be a thing too, because the majority of the time that I orgasm is with a toy by myself.
Yes.
So that's a very different orgasm than when I'm doing it with somebody. So like maybe if I do it with somebody, I could like try like, okay, wait a little bit, then keep going, or do this or do that, and then I can experiment. But like when I'm by myself, I give myself such a big orgasm.
You do that big one and done, going to sleep.
I can't keep going because I've tried it. Like I've tried.
Have you tried the press thing?
Yeah, but like
with your hand,
my clitoris not with toy,
or not with. I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be with your hand, but with the toy off.
No.
Oh, like turn the vibration
on.
Turn the vibration off.
I've never turned the toy off. I'll just keep the toy on, and I'll try to hold it. And I'll try to hold it because I'm like, let me see if I can get a second one. Mm-hmm. But then I'm just like, this feels like I'm like cutting my clit off.
Right. No, that's what I've done.
Very uncomfortable.
Literally turn off the toy, and I mean, like some people, like I have one toy that like whatever. The toy itself, it has the levels, but once you turn it off and you turn it back on, it keeps on the same level that you were previously on. So then I have to like click to get to the lower settings. But like with my other toy, as soon as you turn it off and turn it back on, it starts back from the lower setting. So like I'll come really hard, I'll turn off the toy, press the toy against my clit to like, I don't know what the fuck that does. If it like makes the blood like, I don't know what the fuck that does. Press the toy against my clit with it not being on.
I'm gonna try this
and then
I'm gonna try it.
And then turn it back on.
Yes.
And then
because when I nut and masturbating with a toy, I literally feel like I want to throw the toy across the room.
Me
after
too.
Like I do though. It's like jump. Like I gotta get this toy. I gotta have it. It almost.
And I have my favorite toy too. Like this one makes me nut this way. I want.
And it almost immediately is like, ow, I want to get it off. And you can't turn it off fast enough. Almost. Right. So I'm gonna like turn that bitch off, and I'm just like press it. Just no vibration. Yeah. Boom. Press it. Give it a little couple seconds, and then I'm gonna turn it back on. Yeah, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, that's what works.
Yeah, because I get the whole point is you gotta turn it off.
Right.
Because the continuous vibration is too fucking much.
Can't handle it.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, just
circle back.
Do your fucking thing. Penetrate that dick.
Penetrate that dick or penetrate that pussy?
And
pussy dick.
Exactly.
Or pussy dick.
And whatever the fuck works for you, bitch, do that shit. Make yourself come.
Yes.
Period.
Oh, fuck. This has been another episode of the Savage Life Podcast brought to you by Kink Media Group. You can follow me, Raquel Savage, on Twitter, Raquel_Savage. That's RAQUEL_Savage. And Instagram, Raquel Savage.
You can follow me, Veronica, on Twitter at Veronica X Santos or Instagram, Miss.Sag2.
You can follow me on Instagram solely at LexiLex, LEXYL3X.